Somewhere between Europe and Asia, there's a land of towering peaks, ancient secrets, and stories carved into stone. This is Georgia, a country you've probably never thought of visiting, but one that will steal your heart forever. It's a place where snow-capped mountains meet sunlit vineyards, where ancient fortresses stand guard over winding rivers, and where every corner seems to have a story that's been waiting centuries to be told. Today, we're uncovering 5 of its most breathtaking, unseen wonders. Places so magical, you'll wonder how they've stayed hidden from the world for so long. Vardzia Cave Monastery. From the frozen heights of Svaneti, we journey south to one of Georgia's most remarkable historical treasures, Vardzia. This isn't just a monastery. It's an entire underground kingdom carved directly into the sheer face of the Arasheti mountain. The craftsmanship here is staggering. Inside, delicate frescoes, still vivid after more than 8 centuries, depict scenes from the Bible, portraits of saints, and even the regal image of Queen Tamar herself. Some believe these paintings carry symbolic messages intended to inspire and guide those who worship here. Standing at the edge of one of Vardzia's many balconies, you can see the valley stretching endlessly below, the Emtvari River winding like a silver ribbon through the landscape. It's easy to understand why this location was chosen. Secluded, enough to be hidden from enemies, yet connected to fertile lands and water. Built in the 12th century during the reign of Queen Tamar, one of Georgia's most beloved and legendary rulers, Vardzia was both a spiritual sanctuary and a defensive stronghold. In its prime, it stretched over 500 meters along the cliff, containing more than 6,000 rooms, chapels, meeting halls, wine cellars, and hidden escape tunnels. Imagine monks walking its narrow passages by flickering candlelight, the scent of burning wax mixing with the cool, mineral air of the mountain. And while much of the original city was destroyed by a devastating earthquake in the 13th century, what remains is enough to ignite your imagination. You can almost hear the whispers of prayers carried through the tunnels. Feel the cool stone under your fingertips and sense the deep spirituality that has saturated these walls for hundreds of years. Katsky Pillar. Rising abruptly from the rolling green hills of western Georgia is a sight so surreal, it almost feels like a dream. The Katsky Pillar. This limestone monolith, standing 40 meters tall, is topped with a tiny monastery that seems to defy gravity. For centuries, this pillar has been a place of solitude and prayer. Legend says that early Christian hermits first settled here to live closer to God, physically and spiritually. The climb to the top was once a dangerous and humbling ordeal, a test of faith and endurance. Even today, the only way up is a near-vertical iron ladder that clings to the rock face. At the summit lies a small chapel, a humble stone building surrounded by a breathtaking panorama. Imagine waking each morning above the world, with the horizon stretching in all directions, the wind carrying the scent of wild herbs and pine from the valleys below. For the monks who lived here, the isolation was not loneliness. It was a form of purity. No distractions, no worldly noise, just the rhythm of prayer, the sun's path across the sky, and the deep silence of the high air. The Katski Pillar stands today as both a marvel of nature and a monument to unwavering devotion, reminding us that sometimes the most profound spiritual journeys are also the most physically demanding. Ushguli village. Our journey begins in Svaneti, one of Georgia's most remote and mystical regions. Here lies Ushguli, a cluster of small villages nestled high in the Greater Caucasus Mountains, standing proudly at an altitude of over 2,000 meters. It's one of the highest permanently inhabited settlements in all of Europe, and reaching it feels like stepping into another world entirely. The road here winds through dramatic valleys, alongside rivers that roar with glacial meltwater, and past hillsides where wildflowers dance in the wind. By the time you arrive, you'll notice something. The air is different. Crisp, clean, almost electric with the energy of untouched nature. Ushguli's skyline is unlike anywhere else. Dozens of ancient stone defense towers, some dating back to the 9th century, rise defiantly against the mountains. These were once part of a complex defensive system that protected villages from invaders and from the brutal winter storms that sweep across the Caucasus. Walking the cobblestone lanes, you might pass locals in traditional woolen cloaks, leading their horses or carrying baskets of fresh bread. Life here moves slowly. There's no rush, no noise of traffic, just the sound of cowbells in the distance and the occasional laughter of children playing in the fields. In many ways, it's a living museum, not staged for tourists, but authentic and raw. The traditions here aren't just remembered. They're still alive, passed down from one generation to the next in stories, songs, and customs. And when night falls, the sky above Ushguli erupts with stars, so clear and bright you can trace the Milky Way without effort. In that silence, surrounded by the majesty of the Caucasus, you realize this is not just a destination. It's a glimpse into a way of life that has resisted time itself. Martvili Canyon. From dizzying heights, we descend into one of Georgia's most enchanting natural wonders, Martvili Canyon. Here, the Avisha River has carved deep limestone gorges over millions of years, creating a fairy tale landscape of turquoise waters, moss-covered cliffs, and cascading waterfalls. The first thing you notice is the color of the water, a rich, almost glowing shade of blue-green that shifts with the light. In some spots, it's so clear you can see every pebble resting on the riverbed. The canyon is narrow in places, with walls rising steeply on either side, their surfaces dripping with tiny streams and decorated with ferns and wildflowers. You can explore Martvili by foot along wooden walkways and viewing platforms, or, for the most magical experience, by boat. Drifting slowly through the canyon, you pass under natural stone arches, through shafts of sunlight, filtering through the canopy above. The sound here is hypnotic. The soft splash of oars, the distant rush of waterfalls, and the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. Locals tell stories of how, centuries ago, these waters were used as a royal bathing spot. And when you're here, surrounded by such unspoiled beauty, it's easy to believe you're in a place fit for kings and queens. Martvili Canyon is not just a sight, it's a feeling, a sensory immersion into the serenity and artistry of nature. Batumi Botanical Garden. We end our journey on Georgia's subtropical Black Sea coast, in a place where the beauty of the natural world has been lovingly curated for over a century. The Batumi Botanical Garden. Spread across 108 hectares, this vast garden is home to more than 5,000 plant species from every corner of the globe. As you wander through its paths, you pass from one climate zone to another in a matter of minutes. A Japanese garden filled with delicate cherry blossoms, a Mediterranean grove of olive and citrus trees, a desert landscape dotted with Mexican cacti, and a lush rainforest canopy echoing with the calls of exotic birds. The garden is built on a steep hillside overlooking the deep blue expanse of the Black Sea, and from certain viewpoints, the view is nothing short of breathtaking. The coastline stretches endlessly, the horizon melting into the sky. On clear days, you can see the outlines of distant ships and the curve of the shoreline leading to Batumi City. What makes this garden special is the harmony between the cultivated and the wild. Paths are shaded by towering eucalyptus trees. Streams wind through flower beds, and every so often, you stumble upon a quiet bench perfectly placed to take in the view. At sunset, the sky turns shades of gold, crimson, and violet, and the entire scene feels like a painting in motion. For locals, this garden is a place to relax, to breathe, to connect with nature. For travelers, it's an unforgettable finale to a journey through Georgia, a reminder that beauty can be found not only in dramatic mountains and ancient fortresses, but also in the gentle artistry of a garden well tended. Georgia isn't just a country, it's a feeling. A place where every mountain, river, and stone tells a story. A land where traditions are lived, not just remembered. And once you see it for yourself, once you've stood in the shadow of its towers, wandered through its ancient caves, climbed to its dizzying heights, floated on its sacred waters, and breathed in the scent of its flowers, you'll never look at a map the same way again. If Georgia has just jumped to the top of your travel list, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden wonders, and tell me in the comments, which of these places would you visit first?